Hello, you're watching Encore, our arts and culture show here on France 24. Coming up. A musician who's put the trumpet at the forefront of contemporary music, pulling away from pure jazz and blending it with pop, funk and oriental music. He's even made his trumpet play quarter tones for a truly arabesque sound. Ibrahim Maalouf joins us in the studio to tell us more about his 11th album, Dalida. Ibrahim Maalouf, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, you've teamed up with an amazingly eclectic group of artists. We can see them all here, Golshifteh Farahani, Monica Bellucci, Thomas Dutronc, on this latest album, Dalida. Now, it takes its name from the late iconic singer here in France. What was it that inspired you so much about her and her music?
Dalida is an artist that was loved everywhere she performed and everywhere her name was shining. So in Lebanon, for example, people think she's Lebanese. In France, people think she's French. In Italy, they believe she's Italian. And in Egypt, they think she's Egyptian. But everywhere she was traveling, people thought that she was there from their culture and the country. And I'm very much touched by this kind of nomad people who I feel kind of close to this also. I can feel comfortable wherever I go in the world, and I think this is some kind of connection. And I love her music, and I love the choices she made during her life, and we have also some common points in our families, actually. So many reasons.
So she resonates with you as a person. Now, one of the artists you work with is Malian singer Rokia Traoré, with whom you recorded the track Ammonia. Let's take a listen. Now, à ma manière could be translated in English as I did it my way. And I must admit that I hear kind of echoes of that song in it.
Yeah.
Is that on purpose?
I mean, if you hear the song, you obviously can see that there are lots of common points, but it's not the song. It's not my way. It's another song, but it's very much inspired by my way. In this album, there are songs that lots of people know. There are songs that people don't know, like Je me repose. No, not so many people knew about this song. So I tried to mix in this album all kinds of songs that Dalida did sing. And à ma manière is typically this kind of songs. I think it's the only one in the album where you obviously can feel that she so much wanted to sing my way. But she did not sing my way. She did another my way.
In a way, she really did it her way.
Yeah, and she did it her way,
yeah. Well, this is not the first time you've paid tribute to a very legendary female singer. You've drawn inspiration from Egyptian legend Kulthum as well. Now, Kulthum and Dalida, they're both such specific voices, such specific styles. You work with the trumpet primarily. Did you want to recreate their sound with the trumpet, or were you looking to do something totally different?
I would say I'm a frustrated singer. I love singing, but I'm not sure I can actually really sing. So in this album, actually, I sing a duet with Melody Gardot, the great American jazz singer. But still, it's just like, well, not a joke, but almost, I love the voices, and I love women voices also. So when I play trumpet, in a way, I'm influenced, I'm pushed toward this direction. And I try not to imitate female voice, but I try to be as expressive, can we say this in English, as a human voice with my instrument, yeah.
Which is certainly a challenge, yeah. Now, this is your 11th album, and over the years you've won many awards. Most of those awards are in the category of jazz, Best Jazz Musician, Best Jazz Album. But there are people who say that what you do isn't really jazz. Now, how would you respond to that, and why do you think people have a problem with these grey areas?
Well, it's not totally true what you're saying, because my first awards were in classical music fields. So I started to have let's say, a name. I don't like to do this way, but I started to have a name in music when I started to win international classical music competitions. After that, I decided to quit and to go towards something else that was more interesting for my creative, how do you say, vision?
Yeah, vision.
So in jazz. Then I worked into jazz, and I also was awarded in jazz fields. And then I started to feel, you know, that jazz was too small. I wanted to go somewhere else. I started working in a mix between jazz with pop and other things, and then I started to have awards also in the fields of pop and all this. Then I started to work in cinema, and I composed lots of movie tracks. And last year I had also 2 awards, the César and the Prix Lumière for the movie I was working on. So every time I feel like people are enjoying my work, giving me wings, so that I can go even further. And it feels to me that all the awards is not that important, but all this encouragement, you say, all the people encouraging me all the time, giving me these awards, but also telling me, wow, what you're doing is good, keep doing what you're doing. Every time it gives me even more power to go somewhere else. So this is why it's very nice also to think music this way. Wherever you go, if you do it with all the sincerity and all the confidence you have, people encourage you, they help you, and then you go even further.
And it feeds your curiosity. Now, you mentioned pop. You do venture into pop at times. You actually did a version of Beyoncé's Run the World a couple of years ago. The video is set in a dystopian society of the future. It's quite a bleak vision. Let's take a look at that. Now, in that video, we see feminist groups having to go underground. It's quite a dark society that's painted there. What kind of message did you want to send with this video?
I tried to imagine what would be the world, and France specifically, if we started, and actually, you know, people know that it's part of the program of the extrême droite in France, the Front National.
The far right,
to forbid people to have 2 nationalities, you know. So if the Front National gets happen to be having the I don't know, the elected, they would, the first thing they would do is to say to people who have double nationality, you have to choose. So I was imagining this world where all those people gathered all together who are French have to live underground because they don't have the right to be here, and the people who are helping them to live this underground life are the women and the feminists.
Well, recently you were chosen as one of the musicians to perform at the Louvre in Abu Dhabi when it opened. Now, this is a monumental event for the world of art and museums, but it's also a political event as well, because this project's happening in the Persian Gulf at a time of tensions. What do you think that it might bring to the region?
I don't know what it will bring, but for sure it's a great opportunity to make Arab world and Western world connect and work together. And I think that's a great thing, you know. And, you know, playing there for me was a weird experience because I loved being there and play there and everything. And when I was back, I had 2 different feedbacks that were very extreme. Most of people were very excited about it, and they say, wow, that's great that you did this. We think it's a great opportunity. I think it's a great chance for people to meet, artistically speaking, and everything. And you have people who said, why did you go there? This is the country that is doing this and is doing that. And people not always connect. So it's a great way to connect. And I really very much like the dome, the big dome that they did, but because it's a link of all different connections all together. It's huge and very impressive. Yeah, you can see it here. And I really, really like the architectural aspect of it, but also all the symbol.
Indeed. Now, just moving on to your future projects, you did mention that you're going to take a break from the trumpet and pursue other things. You've worked a lot in film, even in ballet. Can I ask you what's next?
I'm still working on one or two albums for trumpets. That would be my last ones. I said that after 40 years old, I'll not stop trumpet, but I'll put it apart and I will not focus on it. I will do many other things, and trumpet will always be somewhere around, but I will not be putting it on giving it trumpet first role.
Okay.
You know, yeah, that's the thing. Lots of projects, movie soundtracks, albums, ballet, as you said, but also lots of teaching, lots of work with children, and try to transmit. You say transmit all I know about music and make them even love music more.
Okay, well, it still stays with music. Now, we're finishing the show with a little more music. We asked you what's on your radar right now, and you flagged up Pharrell Williams' comeback with NERD. Are you a long-time fan of theirs?
I love this NERD band. I love Pharrell Williams. I love all the they push boundaries of pop music, and they are very talented, of course, but sometimes talent is not enough. You know, you need something more, and they have this. I like these kind of bands, you know, that push boundaries all the time, and I wish them lots of success with this great album.
They certainly have plenty of charisma. Yeah. Now we're finishing the show with a track from that album, Nerd's Lemon, featuring none other than Rihanna. Ibrahim Maalouf, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Remember to check out our website for more arts and culture, and you can also keep up with Encore on social media. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.
You could catch me, in the new La Ferrari, and the truck behind me got arms. Yeah, longer than LeBron. Just waiting from my thumb like the fawns. Woo, this beat tastes like lunch, but it's running from veneers and it's running from the fronts. But every day, hey, well, lemonade. I was afraid once a nigga graduate, would I be okay? So I prayed and I played. It's Rihanna, nigga. My constellation in space. Warp speed, double spark couldn't chase, nigga.
Bath salt, biting speakers in the face.